Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of Weight Loss 360 with Boots Online Doctor. This is the place where our experts get myth-busting and answer the questions everyone wants to know. I'm Helen Thorne, I'm a comedian, podcaster and author. And today, Dr Mark Perera, men's health and sleep medicine lead at Boots Online Doctor, is joining us to talk about how weight loss can help you with your sleep and affect sleep apnea. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Helen. Really happy to be here. Looking forward to talking to you about all things sleep and its role to play in the Weight Loss 360 journey.
So, Dr. Mark, tell us why sleep is so important.
We know that if we don't sleep, we feel like a zombie. We know we can't concentrate, we can't problem solve. You're going to be much more likely to have problems with your mood, problems with anxiety, depression, and you're going to have physical problems as well. You're going to have increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure. It's so important globally for your health.
Now, sleep apnea, we've all heard about it, but I think hardly any of us know what it actually is.
Absolutely.
Tell us all about it.
Okay, so yes, you hear this word a lot nowadays. Obstructive sleep apnea, it's a really common condition, and effectively it can cause problems with your sleep because apnea means a cessation, a stopping of breathing, and this can happen at night and really affect the quality of sleep that we get.
And that sounds scary. Not breathing is not a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. At best, you're going to get just a bit of snoring. Everyone's used to hearing that. It's actually the airway closing up a little bit and the air being trapped, and that's what makes that noise. But at worst, you get OSA. That's what I call it for the rest of this. And OSA is effectively when you stop breathing.
Yeah.
And it can happen multiple times a night. And think about that effect on your sleep. If you're not breathing properly, you're going to wake up and you're going to be much more tired the next day.
Okay, so I want to know a little bit more about sleep apnea or OSA, as we were saying.
Yeah.
So who mostly gets it? I'm in my 40s now and we're all obsessed with our sleep and getting more. Who's getting OSA?
Sleep apnea is most common in middle-aged men and women who are overweight. Approximately 75% of adults with OSA are actually overweight as well. And it's shocking, but 80% of sleep apnea cases are actually undiagnosed. It's so much more common than we realised.
How do you know you've got it then?
Great question. The first sign can be, your partner might say, or someone might say you snore a bit, but actually the description we classically hear is that you wake up and you're gasping for breath, or your partner noticed that.
Yeah.
That is a core sign that something is up, as well as the fact that you are sleepy so much more during the daytime.
Oh, interesting. So you're sort of having broken sleep that you're unaware of. So you can stop breathing, but you don't wake up.
Exactly right. So what's happening is the fat around the neck can cause pressure on the airway, and that ultimately causes the airway to close when you're sleeping.
Okay.
And that is causing an apnea, a cessation of breathing. So that's why we call it obstructive sleep apnea. Ideally, you will wake up and you will change position and most people recover from it.
Yeah.
But if it is a consistent problem, then it becomes medical and it becomes obstructive sleep apnea.
And lots of people in their 40s often say that if they've had too much beer or too much wine, that's when the snoring or the apnea might be, what's the word, exaggerated?
More pronounced.
Yeah. Is it because you're so relaxed or you're sleeping on your back? Or?
That's a great question. That's what you're asking me about more is that will definitely contribute to snoring because you're just much more in a position where you will allow that airway to get a bit more closed more easily.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about obstructive sleep apnea, this is beyond the wines and being overtired. This is a medical condition that definitely needs some attention.
And so having extra weight or carrying extra weight is going to affect that.
Absolutely. And also, if you think about weight, if you are carrying more weight around your abdomen, that's going to put more pressure on your lungs when you're sleeping. Say, for example, you sleep on your stomach. So all of the extra weight contributes more to the OSA, and it's actually a bit of a vicious cycle because if you get OSA, you're obviously not going to sleep as well. Yeah. And then you're going to be tired during the day, so you won't want to exercise. So OSA can be particularly problematic for obese people because they already maybe frequently have shortness of breath, chest discomfort from physical effort. So this means that their exercise is going to be limited further. And without dietary change or changing their lifestyle, this can lead to additional weight gain.
So, Mark, what happens if you've got OSA and it's untreated? What impact is that going to have on you?
It's a great question. If you think about your body going through a flight or fight response repeatedly through the night, it's obviously going to take its toll. And so this pressure, this biological stress on your body is going to cause you to have higher risk to diseases like heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, insulin resistance. It will take its toll, so it's really important to address it.
So basically, we've got to sleep today for our future selves. I think you mentioned it on the other podcast about having a conversation with your 70-year-old self.
Absolutely. You have to tell yourself, you have to think, when you are older, what would you have corrected? What could have made your quality of life ultimately better? And addressing something like obstructive sleep apnea and losing weight, which can ideally, if you lose 5 or 10% of your weight, sometimes people completely resolve their OSA.
I think it's probably one of the things that you focus on less when you make a weight loss goal, isn't it? You're like, I'm going to fit into a new dress, I'm going to exercise more, but having quality of sleep is deprioritized. It's down the bottom of the line, but actually sleep feels like a very important part of our 360 weight loss goals, but also our quality of life.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it.
All right, time for some science, Mark. Come on, you're a doctor. Pass on some facts. What can you do if you're worried you've got OSA?
So there's a really simple questionnaire, a medical questionnaire. You can Google it, and it's called the Epworth Sleepiness Scale. It's what I, as a doctor, I'm probably going to ask you to do when you come to my clinic. It's really simple. It's 8 questions scored from 0 to 3. And if you score 11 or above, then it's definitely worth speaking to your GP for further tests or referral if it's appropriate.
So what are the things we can do to help ourselves, Dr. Mark?
Excess weight is the biggest risk factor of sleep apnea development and severity. And believe it or not, just losing 5 to 10% of your body weight can be enough to significantly improve OSA, or in some cases, resolve it completely. Weight loss reduces all of those fatty deposits around the neck and the tongue. Those contribute to that restricted airflow. Weight loss also will reduce that abdominal fat, which in turn increases your lung volume and helps you improve oxygenation at night.
I like to think of it like having a bag of shopping on your stomach or a heavy weight that is just going to be uncomfortable.
Such a great analogy. It's literally like sleeping with bags of shopping on your body.
Yeah.
Imagine losing that weight and allowing your lungs to open up fully.
Yeah, and you just have a good sleep. Oh my, it's the best drug in the world.
Absolutely. And it's
For
free.
And finally, Dr. Mark, what is your take-home message for the dear listener for this bonus episode?
I would say when it comes to sleep and weight, early intervention is key in preventing harm and reclaiming that quality of life that we all want. With adequate treatment, sleep apnea actually carries an excellent prognosis. So it's never too late, never too early. Take an active approach to your weight control. And if you think you have sleep apnea, it's important to see your doctor and get an adequate diagnosis and tailored treatment plan.
Excellent news. Get some good sleep, people.
Damn
it's the best thing. Thank you so much, Dr. Mark.
Thanks for having me.
Weight Loss 360 is a fresh air production with Boots Online Doctor. The producer is Ollie Seymour. Now, next week, we'll be exploring stress and mental health and how that plays in with your weight loss journey. Thanks for listening, everyone. We're here to cheer you on, so remember to follow Weight Loss 360 wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure you check out Boots Online Doctor Weight Loss Service for a whole load of other amazing advice and free resources, including a weekly live webinar where our experts can answer your questions. The information shared here is evidence-based to help you achieve and maintain weight loss. However, if you have any health concerns or questions, please consult your GP before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. Remember, every small change is a big step towards a healthier, happier you.